Alrighty, I'm Matt Underwood out of NASA Langley Research Center. I'm an aerospace systems engineer, and I'm currently the deputy lead systems engineer for the Electrified flight demonstration project. And this is my origin story. I've always wanted to be an engineer. I don't remember a time that I didn't want to be an engineer. I think my family has a lot to do with that. I have a couple of engineers in my family, and my parents nurtured that growing up, buying me toys that were, before STEM was a thing, right? But buying some of those STEM inspired toys, Legos and Kinects and things like that. I distinctly remember that the one story for my 6th birthday, got a Lego or a Kinect's Ferris wheel. To hear my parents talk about it now, they were on the fence of whether or not they should get that for me. The age was like 12 plus, and here I am just turned 6. And so they did. And after everyone went to bed, I snuck out of my bedroom that night and built the whole thing. And when they came down in the morning, had it operating there in the living room. So I've always had a natural curiosity for how stuff works. So, engineering as a broad discipline was pretty natural for me. So I went to West Virginia University, and when I initially went in as a freshman, you're going as a general engineering student. And like I mentioned, I had a bunch of family who are engineers, one of whom was a civil engineer. And so I had my heart set on civil engineering because that's what I knew, that's what I was familiar with. He had helped with a couple of science fair projects when I was in middle school and high school. And so I was really interested in civil engineering. But at the university, as part of the engineering orientation, they made us go to 3 different departments to hear the talks that each department gave. And West Virginia University had an interesting program where you could actually get a 2 degrees in 4.5 years for civil engineering and mining engineering. And so I thought, hey, for an extra semester, I could pick up a 2nd degree. Let me go check out this mining engineering, see what that's about. So that met 2 of the 3. And the last one I went to was actually for the mechanical and aerospace engineering department. And I distinctly remember walking in that room. I've always had a love for airplanes. Again, my parents used to take us to, I grew up in Northern Virginia, so we'd go to National Airport to a little place called Gravelly Point, and I'd watch airplanes take off and land for hours. So I've always had a love for airplanes, and I remember walking in to that mechanical and aerospace engineering department presentation, and they had some UAVs hanging from the ceiling. They had videos of some of the research that they were doing. And so I remember about 30 seconds into that presentation, making up my mind that aerospace was the way I wanted to go. First and foremost is flexibility, right? I've been fortunate enough to work a handful of projects over the course of my career from start to finish. When you get to the finish or near to the finish and you look back at the course of the project, very rarely does anything ever actually go to plan, right? There's always a hiccup. There's always a technological challenge, a budgetary or workforce challenge that pops up throughout that. And at the end of the day, it's kind of in all of our DNA at NASA, right, to work super challenging things. And when you're working on the bleeding edge, you're going to get cut. As you look at those skills and qualities, flexibility is primary, right? Just being able to adapt and overcome. I think obviously near and dear to my engineering heart is critical thinking skills, right? And I'd say the qualities of being naturally curious about everything, kind of question everything, right? Not in a questioning authority kind of mode, but from a technological perspective, right? Question everything. Why is this happening? Do we actually understand why this is happening? Be gracious with your teammates, be gracious with your project, understand that we are a part of a much bigger picture, and that big picture can change. And so how do you remain flexible and motivated throughout that? I think those are key kind of skills.